Time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-985-1813 now, and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The Number 1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-985-1813 now. Again, that's 800-985-1813. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Darren Spearman reporting. USDA's Ag Statistics Service has released the latest crop estimate for the October edition. We're showing on peanuts now. Peanut acreage stayed about the same, but overall, they say we were down 1% in production and up 22% from last year to 3,347,000 tons. The area harvested expected to be 1.62 million acres, unchanged from the previous forecast and up 17% from last year. Based on conditions, the average yield right now is estimated at 4,125 pounds per acre, down 60 pounds per acre from the previous month and up 191 pounds per acre from last year. A record high production is forecast in Georgia, which is about 4,500 pounds per acre. We're showing Alabama dropping down from 4,100 to 3,900 pounds, and Florida dropping from 4,200 pounds down to 4,000 pounds per acre. On other crops, we're showing corn forecast at 14.7 billion bushels, up 8% from last year. Yield expected to be 178 bushels per acre. Soybeans forecast at 4.27 billion bushels, up 20% from last year, expected to average 51.9 bushels per acre. All cotton production forecast at 17,480 pound bales, down 14% from last year.
The Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, is a continuous sign-up program allowing landowners or operators to apply for financial and technical assistance from many types of conservation practices. And USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida has made it easy to get more details. Just log on to www.fl.nrcs.usda.gov. You'll find links to more detailed information on the overall EQIP program, or simply stop by your local NRCS office.
I'm Darren Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni. WOCA.
Ocala. You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
My. We're back. This is Ocala Live. Big Joe here. Yeah, I'm subbing. I might be permanent. You never know what your luck will be. I said luck, didn't I? Speaking of luck, we have two gentlemen here, and I do mean that with all due respect. It's from the Ocala Fire Rescue. We have Chief Alexander and Captain Blair. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
Say something so I can make sure your mic is on.
Nice to be here. Thanks.
There we go. I am really honored to have you gentlemen. All baloney put aside. I kid a lot. I joke a lot. I say things that are inappropriate a lot, and I get hollered at a lot. But when it comes to you gentlemen and what you do and your crews, it's outstanding. You know, and I was off air. I was telling them about when I was a kid, you know, with the firehouse right down the road, and the respect the men had, and the people that I've known that are firemen, and you know, and now it's fire people now, or fire? Are they still call them fire? You know, because my my granddaughter's a fireman. I don't know, firewoman. You know, I don't know. Do you stop and say firefighter? How do you?
Yeah, we're all firefighters now.
Firefighters,
yes, sir.
She's a spark plug, that little one there. I mean, you're gonna put all. Yeah. Don't worry, Grandpa. I got pictures of her, and it's like, ooh, you know. But yeah, she's tough. She doesn't get run over, you know. So anyway, so we're here. We're going to be talking quite a bit about a lot of things. This is Chief Alexander is a second-generation firefighter who pursued his career after serving in the Navy. Hurrah! Me too. Never mind. We'll go there. Yeah, it's okay. When we're off the air, we'll go there. You have served over 26 years, 11 of which were spent in the battalion as a battalion chief. You hold a bachelor's degree in public administration, and so on and so forth. And the list goes on and on. So we'll just go over to Captain Blair, who is and has been serving in OFR for nearly 2 decades. Throughout the years, the captain has excelled in many leadership roles with the OFR, including as a drowning preventive and CPR instructor. Well, gentlemen, welcome and thank you for your service and continuous service here. You're going to be filmed a little later on today for Hometown Heroes, which is fantastic, well deserved. And I'm going to just turn it over to you right off the bat, Chief, and see if you want to talk about anything in particular. If not, I have my list of things I could ask you and put you on the spot.
Yes, sir. So first of all, I want to thank you for entertaining myself and Captain Blair. We have a lot to get out in the community, and this will be a great opportunity for us. Also, we always have to take the opportunity to thank our citizens and our visitors that we serve, as well as our elected officials and leaders here. We have a great first responder community here in the city of Ocala and in Marion County. And this is an opportunity for us to get the word out. What we have done in the last number of years, so the fire service traditionally has been very reactive. We sit at the firehouse training, waiting for someone to call 911 so that we can help. And we're really shifting that into a proactive model for everything that we do. We have started one of the top mentoring programs in the United States that we would love to get the word out for people there. All of our programs can be accessed by going to ocalafire.org. And on the left side, there's a outreach tab where we do everything from free CPR, safety walkthroughs, smoke alarm installs, and the mentoring program is a method of us reaching the community. We have 10-year-old to 49-year-olds, and
wow,
it's a faith-based program to prepare them to serve in the community. As a fireman, a policeman, an EMT, a dispatcher, and Captain Blair's played a key role in that as well. We actually house that on Mondays at his Station 7 until recently.
Now, you've got, the only thing I see here is it's ocalafl.org/mentor is how you get to you. And it says the program began in 2018?
Yes, sir. We've only been running it for about probably coming up on 3 years now. We partner with Marion County Fire Rescue with the program, and we've had over 300 candidates from all over Central Florida participate, to the point where we've really had to shift from that program being about jobs to it being about the kids. Ocala Fire, Marion County, and other surrounding departments actually hire from that pool of candidates. It's an outstanding program.
Okay, now I'm going to go off script. I'm going to get slapped for this anyway. How is the force? Is it, do you need more to come in? Do you have enough men and women, or do you need more?
Yeah, so we continually need more. What's going on in the fire service is we have a number of scheduled retirements where people will be rotating out. There's also growth in the city and in the county. So
that's an understatement, yeah.
Yes, sir. So we continually want to have a group of people that are prepared, trained, and certified to come into the workforce. And also it helps us with our diversity. So instead of, it gives us a pool if there's a certain culture or dynamic that we need to pick up, such as veterans or females or African Americans, then it gives us a pool to choose from so that we have a diverse workforce.
There's a lot of veterans out there, that's for sure, that are coming into civilian life.
Yes, sir. So Florida has 57,000 returning veterans per year, the most in the United States. And we actually have a program called Operation Dispatch, where we have hired a number of veterans. So they contact us before they ever get out of the military. We have a career path and employment for them. So we have a number, Guy Touchton, Andrew Upton, Tyler Graham, that we contacted them while they were still in the service and had a path and employment for them.
That is cool. That is
Yes, sir.
networking to the top level. And now, a lot of I was Navy like you, and of course I had the fire battalion in the Navy, and that's who you're looking for. I mean, they're kind of pre-trained kind of thing, because when they have a fire on a ship, you're not going anywhere.
Right. Yes, sir. So it's identical attributes. The first thing is that they want to serve.
Yeah.
And then after that, they have, in Florida, there are particular requirements to be a firefighter. You can't have tobacco use, criminal background, drug use. Typically, veterans meet that. They're already physically fit. They understand structure and discipline. They are. We have about 24 veterans that work at our department.
Outstanding. Not counting you.
I think that included me.
I mean, now you did surprise me when you said no tobacco. I'm 100% beside with you on that, but that surprised me that's one of the stipulations, and I like it.
Yes, sir. It's a statewide rule. In the 80s, firemen's life expectancy was about 20 years less than the average citizen.
Oh, okay.
The fire service adopted guidelines and rules that they would not have tobacco use, so that they would reduce the heart and lung disorders in the fire service.
Okay, that's.
And they have significantly improved. Now firemen's life expectancy is much closer to the normal citizen.
Okay, and again, as a layman, not knowing this, and again, Ashley's going to kill me. Ashley is the PR person for that. We're going a little behind the scenes kind of thing. I go off script because I'm thinking of things as uniforms. Is that all supplied part of the deal when you become a career firefighter?
Yes, sir, absolutely. When you report to us, we issue not only your firefighter bunker gear, but you also get uniforms, workout attire. You get Class A uniforms for presentation. So we issue pretty much everything except for your socks.
Okay, then. Well, then I'm going to turn it over to Captain Blair for a little bit here, because you've got your credentials going out the window also. And again, you guys have blown me away this morning. I didn't expect this. I read this, but I didn't expect when you came in like this. Go for it. It's all yours.
Well, like Chief Alexander said, we're taking a proactive approach where normally we would sit and wait for things to happen. Now we're going out and we're looking for the work before it's an emergency. And a couple of the projects that we've been working on lately is we call it the Community Paramedicine Program. It's a model that's popular or becoming more popular throughout the United States. And it's where you identify people who are likely to use the emergency medical services system or the emergency rooms at your local hospitals.
Yeah.
And you can identify them because we go to them all the time. So instead of waiting for them to call 911, now we identify them and we visit their house and we try to provide the resources for them to not have to use the 911 system or the emergency room. So for an example, if someone's got a chronic illness like COPD, we know how to treat COPD. A lot of times the patient isn't as educated on the disease as they need to be to stay out of the hospital. So we do several things. We collaborate with their primary care doctor. If the patient needs some kind of medicine, runs out of their medicine, needs a prescription changed, we collaborate with their primary care doctor to make those changes without the person having to go to the hospital.
No, I would have never thought of that with the fire department. I would, a million years. I would have thought that's with the doctors and the nurse, but that's something that caught me again.
Our community has several at-risk populations, and so we identify the uninsured or underinsured, and we provide those services along with Advent Health Ocala. They're our partner in that, and they feed our program patients who they think will benefit, and we go out to the house, we don't just do medicines and doctors. We identify other weaknesses, like some people don't have electricity. So we work with some partners to get their electricity turned back on. Some people have a doctor but don't have transportation. So we connect them with people like Marion Senior Services, and we get them the transportation to and from their doctor, understanding that Ocala Fire is not providing those services, but we're kind of a clearinghouse for resources. So when we figure out what they need, if you need a wheelchair ramp built on the front of your house, we've got people that do that.
You connect the dots.
Yeah, connect the dots.
Wow, that is now. Of course, there's a big problem in Ocala, like in most larger cities. You know, it's I always say it's a big little town, Ocala. And Marion County is the size of Rhode Island. Let's face it, there's a lot of
1,600 square miles.
Yeah, it's a lot of real estate. Our homeless situation, that is a big thorn. I shouldn't say a thorn, but it's a problem. It moves. Oh, we clean up one area, but they go somewhere, and they're in another area now. Is that part of your problem, your concerns, or?
So part of the reason that we've been directed on the opioid crisis is city council has 10 initiatives. The number one initiative is the opioid crisis, and they have placed our department in as the lead for that. Wow. We have what we do involve with the homelessness are those that are on opioids, and then of course we run the emergency response calls to the homelessness population often. But that, as far as just directly towards the homelessness issue, that's not under our purview. So there's another department at the city, Growth Management, that handles that. We actually have a Department of Homelessness, and we have directors that handle that.
Captain?
We do want to pitch in for that population also as one of the identified populations that need help. A lot of times drug use is prevalent in the homeless. So we are currently developing a program to address that head on.
Outstanding.
We found out that a lot of the homeless people before COVID came along had Hep A. So we partnered with the Marion County Department of Health, Mark Lander's group, and we are able to provide Hep A vaccinations, which is not something that the fire department would typically do.
Yeah.
And we also hooked up with several of the local churches to help them provide meals and stuff like that. So even though they're homeless, they're not hungry and they're not sick, hopefully.
Yeah. You guys have blown me away with a lot of this. I thought I knew. There I go again, putting my foot in my mouth. All right, you have the Ocala Recovery Project. You touched on all of that. The recurring 911 overdose patients, you touched on that. You're going along without my page. I'm asking you the questions, this is like you're not newbies anywhere. Okay, you of course know why the program is so important. According to the Center for Disease Control and CDC, opiums are currently the main driver for overdose. How do these numbers compare to local statistics? There we go.
Yeah, so we could talk a little bit more about our opioid crisis, our recovery project. There's a couple components that were in place for that to follow. We already had our community paramedicine program in place, so that kind of gave the umbrella, medical direction, vehicles, certifications. So we already had the structure in place to support that. That was another great thing that we partnered with Mark Landers and Megan at the Marion County Department of Health. So they put in, they were able to receive a grant from the CDC to fund that project. This is another important part of this also. Most of these projects, if not all of them, have been funded either by Advent or the Department of Health or the CDC through the Department of Health.
Outstanding.
So not only has Captain Blair's shop been able to help, but he's actually been able to find funding for the programs as well.
Again, you're answering the questions before I ask them. Is there a cost to it? And there is no cost to it for the taxpayer.
Correct, or for the person receiving the services. Now, I'd love for Captain Blair to speak more detail about the recovery project, because there are so many people out there impacted by the opioid crisis. We need to continue reaching all of them.
And if you could touch us on the Narcare,
Narcan.
Narcan. Okay.
Sure.
I was
Yep.
close.
I don't think anyone completely understands the scope of the overdose problem we have here. For an example, in June of 2020, we had 160 calls for service, which equated to about a little over 200 doses of Narcan. Oof. So those numbers are staggering, but that reflects only the people who are overdosing. There's many, many, many more people who are using and potential overdoses, but they just haven't been in the system yet. So what the Ocala Recovery Project does is at the point that that person overdoses, we meet them at the hospital. These people are usually in protective custody through law enforcement. So we use the protective custody order to get these people into a detox program if that's appropriate. If that's not appropriate, we've partnered with Lifestream and the centers, who are two treatment facilitators. And OPD has offered to transport anyone who's overdosed on anything in Marion County to any treatment center in our county or any county that touches Marion County. So there's a treatment center in Leesburg, Citrus County, Gainesville has Meridian, SMA in Daytona, as well as the Vines here in Ocala and the centers. So we've managed to really align all of these different services to try to understand the scope of the problem and start to fix it.
Okay, now, this is, you kind of touched on it, is anybody can qualify for it, I presume.
Sure.
But I've got a number here, how do they get enrolled in it? So I'm going to put it up forward for everybody. Okay, you listen to WOC all the time. You should have a pencil and paper ready. So here's your chance to write this down. If you know of someone, this is Captain Blair, can be reached at 352-266-4769. Again, that's 352-266-4769. If you know of anybody, please don't hesitate. I'm sure your arms are and your heart's wide open for that, and I salute you both for doing that. And there's no funding costs for this. Getting back to, because this is a deep subject, and we go down a rabbit hole with this one. So
yeah, absolutely.
I want to concentrate on what you gentlemen do and ladies. Oh, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth again. What you firefighters do. You were talking early about a firehouse should only be good for how many years?
Yeah, typically when a fire station is built, it usually lasts for 30 years.
For 30 years, and you said there was one out there 50 years old?
Our last two stations are old Station 1, and we're about to vacate old Station 3. They were both 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so our crews were serving, and I'm a second-generation firefighter, and I was in both those fire stations when I was 5 years old. My dad manned both of them. And now we have, this is another important topic, our 1 cent sales tax, the initiative that we're all going to vote on again in November, has funded these fire stations and even some equipment for us.
But the money is actually going there?
Correct. That's why we don't have 50-year-old fire stations anymore, because of the 1 cent sales tax.
See, that's a lot of people say, oh, it's 1 penny, I know, but is the money really going there? And if we've got proof that the money is really going there, I don't see a problem with that vote. I don't see a problem with that vote whatsoever. It's when someone puts their sticky fingers where, well, we got a little extra, we can put it in general fund over here. No, it's for that. It's for the men and women that are putting their lives out there, that are helping accidents. It's not just firefighting. There's a fire truck if someone calls for an emergency at the home. The small truck comes, and then the big truck comes.
Right.
Correct. Yes, sir, and that's another important part with the 1 cent sales tax is, and my numbers may be off a little bit, but over 30% of the people paying for it are not Marion County citizens. They're people coming in from the outside, either traveling through or coming into Marion County for work, but they're still using the roads, they're still using the 911 services. So Marion County property tax owners, this is an opportunity for them to share with somebody from the outside to pay the services that they use.
Sure. And again, like you said, we're the size of Rhode Island. You know, you're Marion County, but you're Ocala, but you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we do. And us and Marion County Fire
I
Rescue.
like this with my hands for those who didn't see me.
Yeah, us and Marion County Fire Rescue, Chief Banta, we have a great relationship, and we synergize with everything from training to running each other's calls. So the community should know what they get here is the closest unit, regardless of who they work for. So no matter, we're not territorial. We're all here to serve as fast and as best as we can.
Well, you know what? I'm a newbie, and I forgot to do this here. I'm going to put you on the last few minutes. I'm going to see if I can capture you on. There you go. You are on camera now. The whole two of you. There we go. So for the last few moments, you actually see who I've been talking to. I'm a newbie. I'm the first substitute for the first day. I know I was going to forget something. At least I had it running, so it's on YouTube. But now your mugs are there. No, that's a mugshot. That's the wrong thing. Sorry, wrong department. I've got more questions. That is just, and we're just about out of time. We've got less than 3 minutes to go for the end of the show. Is there anything you wanted to touch on that is close?
I would real quick like to rave about our employees and our staff and our firefighters. Mm-hmm. So I have to ask them every day to put their life on the line, and this isn't just with responding to calls. Firemen are significantly more likely to commit suicide or to have cancer. So there are long-term initiatives also besides just running the call. So I have to thank them every day because I ask them to do a lot. I appreciate the force. They're the ones that are out there serving and risking their life every day. And then also I'd like to thank Captain Blair before I turn it over to him. He is tireless in his efforts to benefit this community.
Just wanted to pass along to the community at large, you don't have to enter the system through an overdose. If you have a family member who has a problem, you can call me, and we have a couple of different ways that we can help your sister, brother, uncle, dad, son, daughter. You don't have to overdose. If you need Narcan because you know they have a problem, we also will give you Narcan and teach you how to use it.
I used to have one here. I hope it wasn't used.
Yep, I see it over there.
You do it?
Yep.
There it is, yeah, behind there. And it's easy to use if you touch on how it's used very quickly.
Sure. So the nasal Narcan it's just a nasal spray. You open the package. There's also directions on the package. You gently put it into someone's nose and just squeeze, and it administers the drug, and the drug works really fast. So, real quickly, I know you're running out of time.
You've got 1 minute.
Okay. So we have a couple of new options for people to help in the community. We have this with Marion County. There's Pulsepoint, which is an app that you can download on your phone. Mm-hmm. It tells you if there's a person near you that needs CPR. So you download the app, you find our services or our county, and if someone was in the food court and needed CPR, we would all get the text or the alert, and we could walk over there and perform the CPR.
If you're in the area, wow.
Right. And if you don't know CPR, the app will give you instructions, but if you want to be prepared for that, you can call Ocala Fire Rescue because we provide free training at whatever location you want through our providers.
Well, gentlemen, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And we're going to do this again next month?
Yes, sir.
So that's the main thing. We're going to do it again. And this has been, see how quick the time goes?
Yes.
And we are done.
Normal to be
Awesome.
Thank you.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
The Senate confirmation hearing